Dead or Alive is back. To keep it very much a stack, was anybody expecting this? No. Literally no. I am super down for this. I am super hyped. I literally yelled when I saw it, high-key. I don't yell at things unless I'm excited about it, and that was for sure something to be excited about. The fact that we're getting Dead or Alive 6 getting a last round, and that's going to be up for June for free to play and stuff like that as well, and the fact that we're getting this DOA 7 potentially, what's going to go down for that, I am super excited for that, to keep it very much a stack. DOA is back. However, I do feel like we also need to be cautiously optimistic. I do feel like we need to be careful when it comes down to this, because you gotta remember, as much of an excitement it is to see, you know, a new DOA in the works, as much as I am excited to see, you know, Kasumi beat ass again, as much as I'm excited for the jiggle physics, and, you know, obviously we can tell they're excited because they have Kasumi's titties literally as the thumbnails of the PlayStation stuff, so I'm excited. However, we also need to realize we need to be cautiously optimistic. We need to be optimistic, but cautious with it. Solely because, look what happened for years now. Look at the type of people that we have in the industry. Look at the, you know, global standards of everything. Look at the modern audience. Look at what they don't like. And then remember, oh, DOA 7 could be in trouble. That's basically how I feel. I'm like, DOA is back, but other BS could follow. And so that's basically what I want to talk about today too, right? Because ultimately, I think I pretty much expressed, since especially the whole passing of Itagaki, essentially that I like DOA. I do enjoy what DOA is when it comes down to it, for a lot of reasons. And to keep it very much a stack, it is basically kind of like how I was talking about Brown Dust 2. It is a game that is built on hot women beating ass. That's just how it is. It is a game where you have hot women dressing sexily in a lot of outfits, and they're just beating ass, and they're just doing the fun shit. With cool ass stage transitions, which you have cool ass jiggle physics, you have like a lot of these cool ass characters come through, and it's literally a good time. That's what DOA is. That's what DOA represents. And ultimately, DOA 5 was possibly, gameplay-wise, the best peak of that when it comes down to it. We had stage transitions, we had like a ton of stuff that DOA 6 did not have. They had a lot of problems in DOA 6, which is why it took them a long time for, you know, them to kind of come through and do something with it. So, you know, that's just how it is. There's a lot definitely to be cautious about when it comes down to it. The main one for sure that's on a lot of people's mind for sure is obviously how far they're going to censor this game. Is this game like a red flag? Is there going to be some red flags or, you know, false red herrings when it comes down to it, right? Because obviously we know how Koei Tecmo kind of is. Especially recently, we know how they've been when it comes down to it, right? They like to censor stuff. They have the censorship people in their groups and all that sort of stuff. Is this going to be a censored mess? Is it going to be censored fresh out the press, right? Is the default things going to be like, to be honest, to be real, I'm not gonna lie, if you really want to show DOA is back, yes, Kasumi's titties on screen was beautiful. However, we do need to see when the gameplay actually hits, maybe at EVO, but when it comes down to it though, when the gameplay actually hits and they showcase what they're gonna showcase, I'm not gonna sit here and lie. You definitely need to show, yes, we are having jiggles here unapologetically if you want them. You can tell, and honestly, again, make it like a Bayonetta situation. You can have the setting where you tone it all down, and you have the setting where you put it back all up, right? Just let people choose if they want to have that or not, and then that's fine. I'd rather take that as a compromise than just not have it at all. But when it comes down to it though, literally, they do need to show, yes, we do have a wide variety of outfits. Yes, we do have ones that are more, you know, obviously, I guess, like, more serious to be taken seriously, and ones where we just let shit fly. You know, that's just kind of what we need to see, right? Genuinely, that's just how it is. And I would absolutely lose my mind in the worst possible way if they literally release DOA 7, or they go about the development process of DOA 7, and literally it's just like, yeah, we're making DOA 7 as strict and conservative as much as possible and all that sort of jazz, and ultimately it's gonna be like, the man Itagaki passed away not too long ago, and the game that you literally make his actual baby, when it comes down to it, that you literally decide to make a new one of, and you make it conservative, you make it censored, you make it strict, no boob flowing whatsoever, no jiggling of any body part of the female body whatsoever, and immediately that's what you decide to do after that man's passing, it will be spitting on that man's whole grave. It will be basically defiling that grave in the worst possible way when it comes down to it. And I really, really hope that's not what we're gonna see when it comes down to 7, whatever this new one's gonna be called. I really, really hope that's not what we're gonna see. I hope that we see something that is what DOA is supposed to be, right? Again, just to really reference like the Brown Dust 2 thing. When they said with the whole censorship stuff, they were trying to tone down the game and all that sort of stuff, that is what made Brown Dust 2, right? The crazy ass cutscenes, the crazy ass women, the boobage, the ass, the all that stuff. That's what made Brown Dust 2 what it is, and people to care, right? And thankfully, they backtracked it on what they was, going to do with the censorship or whatever. And we still have to see how they're going to go about it further for the future. But, it is what it is. DOA. Hot women beating ass. We got the beating ass part. That's going to be fine. I'm pretty sure they'll do fine. But when it comes down to the hot women, when it comes down to, the jiggling of everything, when it comes down to the outfit designs and choices and the levels of censorship, when it comes down to it, that's terrifying. We don't know where that's gonna be. This could very much be a good time where they actually do the right thing, or this could be a bad time where we have to basically be worrying about every little thing when it comes down to it. This feels like Stellar Blade to me. How when people was like, oh yeah, Stellar Blade's gonna get censored hard as hell, and ultimately there was legitimately fear that it was gonna be the case. Because, yeah, a game where you have a fine, beautiful character and there is focus on boob and ass, yeah, that sounds like activists are going to get ready to just butcher this game to high hell when it comes down to it, right? And they did to an extent, but most of that game is still intact when it comes down to it. Majority of that game is still intact, thankfully. Are we going to see a similar situation? I don't know. I would say if you are somebody that is interested in Dead or Alive, and you are wanting to see the future of Dead or Alive series to continue on even after everything that's happened, for sure, you need to voice your concerns. You need to voice your concerns and bring it up to them when it comes down to it. Like, is, the outfit selection, is there going to be skimpier outfits when it comes down to it? Is there going to be jail visits when it comes down to it? Is there going to be censorship? Are you already censoring stuff when it comes down to it? Is PlayStation asking you for censoring things? Of course, they're not going to tell us, but ultimately, put that pressure on them. Tell them that, yeah, you don't want, a censored mess of what DOA is. Tell them what you want for a DOA game, how it's supposed to be. Tell them you want the stage transitions. Tell them you want the characters to look like the actual characters and not uglify them and all that sort of stuff, which granted, I don't think they're going to do that, but again, you never really know. Tell them that what you really, really want out of a DOA game. That is what you should be trying to tell these devs when it comes down to it. Now, granted, we did have a transition with Koei Tecmo's president from last year, because they are under newish leadership from last year when it comes down to it. Actually, it hasn't been even a full year since they took over. It was like April 1st of 2025 when they first took over a new presidency. So we don't really know how that's going to go and if that's going to play a hand in things. But when it comes down to it, hopefully under that new leadership, they'll also be like, yeah, okay, we'll definitely make DOA what it should be, right? And again, if they make this game and it's buns and they make it shit and they do all this stuff, again, that's just spitting on Itagaki's grave, to keep it very much a say. And I'm pretty certain if this game fails, hard fails, like everybody's gonna be looking at Tecmo like, what the hell did y'all even do? Because I'm pretty certain that's just gonna be how it is, right? Again, DOA has always been a certain way. It should stay that certain way. That is why people like it. If you don't like what DOA does, literally there's other fighting games that you can play that doesn't have that, or that's not a main focus when it comes down to it. There's so many other fighting games that you can play. DOA is for us. It is for the people that obviously know what they're getting into. Obviously, new people is gonna come in. They're gonna, play the game. They're gonna enjoy for what it is. And there's gonna be people that are gonna be hassling the game and being an anti about it and whatever. But ultimately, do not shift that shit just because, oh, but the female body, we should censor it and all that stuff. Don't do that bullshit, because at that point it's not dead or alive. It's not. Let's just keep it a stack. Like, honestly, now that I think about it, and just looking back at, like, Itagaki's interviews, like, on DOA Extreme, one of the Extreme games, like, genuinely, yeah, they just better do this right. They better do this right, because if it doesn't, do not hit the way it should, I promise you, everybody's gonna let you know about it. Everybody's gonna let you know about it, and there is not gonna be enough antis in this world to basically tell the hardcore DOA fan audience to be like, yeah, no, you F this up and we ain't appreciating this. For sure, right? That's just genuinely how it is, right? And because, again, just to really point it out there, like, it's about hot women, it's about fighting, it's about looking cool, it's about a lot of those stuff. And if you don't have all that stuff working together in the truest way possible, it's not really dead or alive. It just isn't. And again, just to really end off things, if you really want to know, and why people are so hell-bent on, why do you want to see so much sexualization of women? Why do you want to see so much boob and ass and all that stuff? You're objectifying women. This should be censored. It should not exist, and all that sort of stuff. This is not what DOA is. It is a fighting game for people that actually know how to fight. That is what this is. And ultimately, all I'm gonna tell you is go watch the G4 interview he had that you can find on YouTube. It's not in the best quality, but you can find it on YouTube. Go watch that interview. Look at what they show you. Look at how the game looks. Look at how Itagaki talks about the game. Look about all that stuff. And then you come back here and tell me, oh, that's not what DOA is. Because it absolutely 100% is, right? It is a fighting game. It is about beating ass. The gameplay must be good in order for DOA to work as well. It's not just one thing works. You have to have both things work. It's 50 and 50 across the board, and if either of these sides F up anywhere, then it's not a good game. That is just genuinely how it is. That is probably how he would view it as well. When it comes down to it, I'm pretty sure that's how most developers will probably view it as well. If it's not good across the board on one side or the other, or whatever you're including, it's not a good game. And that's something I'm pretty certain Itagaki very much pride himself on and try to do a lot, is to make the DOA series as good as he can make it when it comes down to it, when he was involved. So when it comes down to it, whoever decides to take on the reins of DOA 7, however they go about it, that's what you're comparing it to. That's what we're comparing this to. What you have to hold the standard of when it comes down to it. And if that standard is missed, whether or not it is fine, beautiful girls looking sexy, whether it is the fact that the gameplay is terrible, or whether it's actually good, you have to hold it to the standpoint, yes, the game is sexy. You have to have sexy women in it. Bikinis, skimpy outfits, schoolgirl outfits, bunny girl outfits, whatever the hell has to be the case. Jiggle physics, the sweat and dirt effects, even when it comes down to it. Then you have the gameplay side, whether it is going to be a bit more technical, whether it's going to be a bit more free-flowing, whether it's going to have stage transitions, whether it's going to have something new, characters getting ultimates maybe, who really knows. But when it comes down to it, all the sides of the game has to work. If it does not work, it is a bad game. It will turn into something bad, and it will not be a hit. So that is what we're looking at when it comes down to it. And again, I'm being cautiously optimistic. I really, really hope they wouldn't just shit and spit on Itagaki's grave because they want to butcher what the game is. But that's just genuinely what is at stake here, and that's what it is. After begging for a new DOA for a while, after seeing all these other fighting games come through, not getting, DOA is kind of wild, but now that we are here, I have extreme high expectations for this, and if it's not met, oh boy, people are gonna let you know. So that's essentially what is at stake here. That's what I wanted to talk about, because this is a big effing deal. And yeah, essentially that's just how it is. So hopefully you did enjoy. If you did, be sure to like, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification on your way out, also on the socials, and if you'd like to donate to the channel, Kofi and Cash App is available as well. And until then, it's been YJ, sign off. Have a blessed day.